If you want a compact phone that is reliable, modern, and powerful, you basically have to consider one of these two, the iPhone 12 and the Galaxy S21. These are indeed your best options, and I myself have been switching between these two, trying to settle on just one. It's been hard, and these are all the differences you should know about. First, in terms of design, these two are both compact, but in a different way. See, the iPhone has these flat sides, which make it less comfortable to hold, and especially with the case on it, it becomes quite chunky. Just take a look at this. It's a big phone. Now, the Galaxy on the other hand, it has curved sides, which make for a better in-hand feel, plus the phone is actually made of plastic on the back, meaning that even if you drop it, the back won't shatter. So you have one less worry, and with that it's easier to carry this one without a case. And yes, Samsung really nailed this violet gold color styling. It's easily one of my personal all-time favorite phone designs. So round one for ergonomics, design, and practicality goes to Samsung. Now in terms of other design features, both are water protected with an IP68 rating that gives you a peace of mind that they won't get damaged in the rain. And there is no headphone jack on either one, which I do find disappointing, but you're kind of used to that in 2021. The screen size is just a tad bit larger on the Galaxy. It's actually a taller screen. You have a 6.1-inch screen size on the iPhone and a 6.2 inches on the Galaxy. The actual quality of both screens is excellent. Both are OLED with vibrant colors and appear very sharp. And they have excellent viewing angles, no complaints at all. The Samsung gets just a bit brighter though, which is noticeable on a sunny day when it's a bit easier to use it outdoors. By the way, you can also pick between more saturated or more toned down color profiles with the Galaxy, an option that is strangely missing on the iPhone, where you just get the colors that Apple decided you want to see. Anyway, display quality is great on both, so this round is a draw. Now I also want to dig a bit in the details of actually using these two, and one advantage for the Samsung is the always-on screen option. The iPhone lacks that option, but it makes up with a raise to wake functionality, or you can also just do this. Tap to wake. That is the most responsive of any phone I've tested, and with Face ID it's super easy to just quickly take a glance at your notifications, expand them, and see them without actually opening them. That is actually super useful. Next up, biometrics. Let me confess that I just love Face ID, and I don't understand why Android phone makers haven't adopted that. Maybe it has to do something with that notch that it requires, but Face ID works great on the iPhone. Unless you're wearing a mask, of course. And on the Galaxy you have face recognition, but not of the same kind. It's image-based face recognition, and it's a bit hit or miss, so I ended up turning it off. But the most secure way to unlock the Galaxy is with a fingerprint scan, and this has improved a great deal from previous Samsung phones, and it's now a lot more responsive. Plus it's way more convenient if you use a mask. Now as for performance, you have the Apple A14 Bionic chip on the iPhone and the Snapdragon 888 processor on the Galaxy. Anyway, in benchmarks, the iPhone has a considerable advantage, especially in single-core performance, and it's overall the faster chip. But really it isn't about how fast the chip is, it's about the platform, and Apple's iOS platform also feels better optimized, especially in those little details. Now this is not something that everyone will notice, and it's probably a personal pet peeve of mine, but switching between apps with the gesture navigation is particularly choppy on the Galaxy, and it doesn't always work. You notice a bit of a stutter also while scrolling in apps like Chrome and Google Photos, and I've noticed that there is a very long delay from actually the moment you take a photo and it actually appearing in the camera app. Now all of these are remnants of TouchWiz, the ancient Samsung user interface that used to be very choppy. It's not like that anymore, but you still get a bit of a stutter every here and there. And that's all a bit strange considering that actually the iPhone only runs with 4 GB of RAM, while the Galaxy has double that at 8 GB of RAM. Anyway, at the same time you have a 120Hz fast refresh rate on the Galaxy, which helps for smoother scrolling, while the iPhone only runs at 60Hz, and you can definitely feel the difference in favor of the Galaxy if you just compare the scrolling smoothness side by side. So the experience is a bit of a mixed bag. One thing that I also noticed is that the Galaxy heats up quite a bit, especially here at the top on my Exynos model, and this happens even while you're just browsing and even when you're on a call. while the iPhone stays just like most other phones, stays cool. I haven't noticed the Galaxy slowing down because of that slight overheating, but it's definitely a strange feeling that feels kind of wrong. On the other hand, when it comes to storage, the Galaxy has 128GB on board, compared to just 64 on the iPhone. I found that in my usage, in less than half a year of using the iPhone, I have already run out of storage, and I'm using the iPhone on and off. I'm often switching between phones and using other phones. And that is with no games on the phone at all. So for the average user like myself, just taking a few extra videos and you're quickly running out of storage. And I would definitely suggest getting at least 128 gigs of storage for the iPhone, which further inflates its price. Next up, we have to talk about the camera, don't we? These are two of the best cameras around, but I personally prefer the Galaxy for the simple reason that you have not only two cameras, you have three of them. You have a zoom camera, and this makes it far more versatile. The iPhone 12 lacks a zoom camera, which for me means that portrait photos of people don't look good with just a wider lens like you have on the iPhone. The Galaxy gives you the option to capture 2x zoom portraits, which look far better. And the Galaxy is also far superior when you need to zoom in. It retains a lot more detail at 2x, 5x and even 10x zoom. As for the main cameras, however, they're great on both phones. Colors appear vibrant and images are just ready to share, they look good. The Galaxy can sometimes go a bit overboard with the saturation, but the iPhone often does the same thing. I do, however, prefer the ultra-wide camera on the iPhone over that on the Galaxy. I have to also say that selfies on the Galaxy turn out actually better most of the time, as it accentuates the face of a person far better than the iPhone. So which one of these two has the better camera? Oh, it's not a huge advantage, but I consider the Galaxy a bit more versatile, and I give it this round. Also, if you're often using the speakers on your phone for music or YouTube videos, I have to say that the Galaxy is actually a bit of a disappointment. Its speakers lack depth and bass and sound a bit harsh, while the iPhone has a much fuller and richer sound. Take a listen. And then battery life. The cliche goes that a small phone cannot have great battery life. And unfortunately, that's mostly true here. Battery life is not terrible on both of these, but it's not great either.
Not great or terrible.
I would say that both phones got me through a full day of use unless I was really pushing them very hard. Yes, the Galaxy lasts a bit longer, especially if you're watching videos, which I personally do a lot, but if you just scroll through social media, I would say that you get similar battery numbers on both. Charging, however, is a pain point, especially in the iPhone. It's just too slow, and yes, let me once again remind you that you don't get a charger in the box with either one, and you have to buy a separate charger for about 20 or 30 bucks, so that's an extra expense that you have to keep in mind. Anyway, charging the iPhone fully takes about an hour and 40 minutes, compared to just about an hour on the Galaxy, which is a massive difference. Finally, we have to talk a bit about Android, Apple, and the ecosystems. Apple tries to lock you in with all sorts of little goodies. The Apple Watch, AirPods, AirTags, AirPlay, the list goes on and on. Samsung tries to have an alternative here and there for most of these. And sometimes those alternatives are not quite as good, sometimes they are good enough. But from a philosophical point of view, at least Samsung is not desperately trying to lock you into an ecosystem and keep you a bit of a prisoner there. So which one do you prefer? As for me, I've been using the iPhone more than the Galaxy, and I do have my pet peeves like the fingerprint scanner and the sometimes choppy Samsung UI, but yeah, right now I'm switching to the Galaxy for the summer because of that more versatile camera and because it's a more open and friendly ecosystem, at least I feel it that way. Anyway, hope this has been helpful and let me know your reasons for choosing one over the other in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button and help us reach our goal of 2 million users. My name is Vic, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.